Today's project is a fancy fold gatefold. I made this earlier this week with this Daisy Delight stamp set from Stampin' Up. And I was doing it on my Facebook stuff like I normally do, but I don't know why they shut my video off. I didn't say anything. So anyhow, I am doing this again. I thought I'd try it on my YouTube channel today, and we'll give that a go. I don't know. Right now, everything is going to be backwards. I'm using Pansy Patch. When I turn the camera down and show you what I'm doing, it should right itself. So this is a very easy, fancy fold to make. Very fun. I guess you could call it a fun fold. I don't know what is the difference between a fancy. All of them are fancy to me. It's a really easy one, and it's got this angled top, which is super easy to make and very, very fun. And the reason it's so nice to do with people who haven't really done a lot of Stampin' stuff yet is because you can use up your DSP, which is your designer series paper. It's a great way to use some of that up. And I actually today, because I'm not going to do another Daisy Delight one. Usually once I've done one, it's like, I don't want to do that one again. So I'm getting out Pansy Patch. I think that one's actually retired. I have some Pansy Petal paper though that I want to use today. So that's why we're doing it. And I actually already have my Pansy Patch pansies all stamped or punched out, so I don't have to really do them. I'll do some stamping, but probably not a lot today. This card is going to go pretty fast, and I want you to be able to see how quick and easy it is to do some of these fancy folds for yourself, for classes, for friends, for family, for little kids. This is a good little kid type project. All right, so again, Stampin' Up. What's happening in the Stampin' Up world right now? Ooh, we have a new catalog, and I just got mine like days ago, maybe one day ago. I can't show you the inside, but I can show you the outside of the catalog. It's backwards, but this is loaded with fantastic things. And if you want to see any of them, please place an order. Anybody who is a customer of mine, you automatically get a catalog if your orders are high enough. They're generally, for this catalog, $50 and more is enough, but normally if you are a customer of mine, you have to spend $150 or more to be able to get all the catalogs for the whole year. And I would love to add you to my list. You can have the opportunity to get all kinds of things when you order through me, so I would appreciate that. I'm going to try to put the camera down. Again, I am brand new to YouTube audience, so let's see how it goes. You know, you'll just have to bear with me if it doesn't go well. I am not going to, oh, I forgot. I can't really do it like that. I'm going to have to take my camera. I'm going to have to take it out so I can flip it. If I flip it, then you're going to be able to see things the right way. But that means I have to actually flip my whole phone over. I don't know if you're looking at me at all right now. We're gonna try putting it down, and oh man, the camera likes to lock when it's doing things it doesn't like. And so we made it. Doesn't always like that transition. You know, nobody really likes transitions, do they? I mean, if you're all in the middle of something, you don't like things to be changed. And so cameras are kind of like no different. I'm going to try to adjust everything because my camera is inside my, what do you call these? Like a tripod arm sort of stuck to my desk. It's really hard for me to see what you see. I think actually that's going to work better right there. Okay, now if we're off a little bit, I'll figure that out later. I'm just going to work with what we've got right now. So here's my host code. If you have an order that's $50 or under, $50 or under, actually anything that's under $150, you should probably use the host code. If you are going $50 or $150 and more, you don't want to, because you will get your own Stampin' rewards for that order, and that just means you get free products. Now you're going to get free products no matter what you do as far as your purchasing. is a matter of what are you going to get. You know, you never know what you're going to get. Unless you're ordering $150 or more, and then you know what you're going to get because it's going to be something that is from Stampin' Up, and you'll be able to select it. All right, so here we go. You are going to want to have 2 pieces of your regular sized cardstock. This is 8.5 by 11, and we are going to cut this in half. Okay, because we need 2 pieces. For this card, we're going to do a left side and a right side. It glues together. It's super easy. So our dimensions, let me just tell them to you really quickly here. This is my little sample side. I only have one side done, and it's really not even completely done. It's just enough for me to know what I'm supposed to do. So you are going to cut 2 pieces of 10.25 by 5.5 inch cardstock. Okay, so that's 10 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And then we're going to score one side only of that card. We're going to score it at 2 and 4 and 6 inches. And then after we get that done, we are going to cut the angles after we do both sides. Okay, so here's how we're going. We're going to get out the cutting board, and I want to cut this. Oh, by the way, since I'm right here thinking about it, I have a website, kathycrowscards.com, and if you're interested in classes, products, if you're interested in tutorials, anything, my newsletter, it can be signed up to, you know, for very easily there. And the newsletter each month or each week goes out. I do one a week, and it's a big job for me because I do tutorials for each week. All right, so 10 1/4. We're going to cut that there. Let me do it again. Make sure it's in here straight. 10 1/4. I'm going to move this a little and move this a little. I can't really see what you see, so I'm a little like sketchy about how great this is. 10 1/4. Normally I can watch what's going on another camera right in front of me, but I don't know, maybe I could do that with YouTube if I knew what I was doing. Let me plug in my phone. That might help, huh? And then we're going to cut it this direction, 5.5 inches. Okay, so 5.5 inches, and then the other one 5.5 inches. Okay, and then we're going to score one side only, do it the long way, and then I'm going to put my arm in on the cutting board because I don't really need that to be like that. You could get if you have a scoreboard, you can use your scoreboard, but it's not necessary. You know what, before I score it even, I'm thinking of wonder if I should do my angle first. Just because I want to make sure the angles are exactly the same on both. And I'm kind of eyeballing it to make sure that my edges are even. And I don't want more than if it's less than 1/16 of an inch difference, it's probably fine. But if it's more than that, I would want to even it up and make sure both pieces are exactly the same. So I'm not sure where my fold is going to have to be at the, that's 6. I'm going to have to just score it, and then we'll figure it out. So we're going to score at, remember, I said 2 inches and 4 inches and 6 inches. And the 6-inch one is easy because it's got that stopper right there. Okay, I'm going to go all the way to the 6-inch one and just do the 6-inch one. And I'm going to do the other ones here in a minute. But right now, before I even do those, I'm going to do the angled fold cut. Okay, I'm going to put the one that I did the 6-inch score line there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure up 2 inches, and then I'm going to cut from there all the way to where that 6-inch score line is. And I'm going to do them together so that they have exactly the same angle cut without it being difficult. So first of all, I'm going to measure the 2 inches, and that's going to come here. I'm not marking it. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. In fact, I'm taking my nail and just sort of marking it because it doesn't need to be exact. It can be whatever. And then I'm placing my marked cardstock that I just marked with my fingernail right there in the cutting track, and then keeping these pieces tightly together. I'm moving it so that I can see where that score line I just did, that 6-inch score line, it's right there. I'm putting that next to the cutting track. So this whole piece is going to get cut, both of them, right to the top of where that fold is. So I'm going to hold that tray down really hard, run that back and forth, make sure they both came out. And now you have a nice perfect angle. I do see I went out. I'm not perfect right here. Like here's the fold and my cut didn't come quite to the top, and that's okay. Better to have it that way than in. I don't want it anymore. All right, now I need to score this. So we're scoring it at 2 inches, the same as the other one. Oops, that's the score cut tool. I want the score tool. 2 and 4. And I've already done the 6. Okay, so let me set that aside. And now you'll see we've got a right side. Save these because you'll use those for your belly band. We've got a right side and a left side. And we want those to be together. One is going to fold over, you know, the inside. Well, they both will. And that means that one of these, just one, is going to have to be slightly smaller than the other one, because otherwise it's not going to quite work. So I'm going to go ahead and fold these. I want to see how much I'm going to have to trim. This is not an exact thing, as in you're having a gap. I don't like the gap. The gap's okay. You could have the gap. It's not a killer, but I don't like it. And I also don't like making my score line measurements so complicated with 1/8 inches and all that it wasn't worth it to change it. So instead, I am just changing this. So look at this. You can see that I've got like it's probably not quite a 1/2 inch, but it's close. This is actually a almost a 3/8, not quite, 3/8 inch gap. So I need to make these backings just a smidgen smaller. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. We're going to go where the dark brown is. Going out a little bit more than that. I'm not going quite to the 1/4 mark though, because I don't want to cut off too much. And then I'm going to cut off that same amount with this one, and then put them together and see what I get. It's closer, much closer. That one's a little bit smaller, which is fine. Let me cut this one a bit more. Just go little bit by little until you have a perfect gatefold closure. Because if you cut too much at once, you're going to have trouble. And again, you could measure it out a little bit more accurately, and you wouldn't even be having to do this, but I actually find this to be better because I'm going to get a perfect measurement there. I'm no gap. I'm going to get a perfect no gap thing. See, this is a no gap, and that's where I want to stop. All right, so this one is the smaller one, so that one's going to go on the inside. So I am going to go ahead right now and, do I dare? I better not, because I need this angle for my DSP. Kind of forgot this when I was doing this on my other page. And so it's kind of nice for me to get another chance at it because I can actually do this a little bit more efficiently. I want to use, is this the paper I'm using? No. I want to use this paper, this sheet, This is a full sheet. That way I know I'll have plenty. And I want the same angle that I have here, and I need, you know, double. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is I am going to just turn this over. Let's get rid of my cutting board for a minute. Ooh, that's very bright on that side. This is the side that won't be showing. So what I need to do is get something that I know I can mark with. And I'm looking for my chalk writer because I know that's going to mark that up nicely. So is there a directionality? Yes, there is. So it has to be going up and down this way. And so I am going to want to have my angle going this direction. So I'm just going to line up my cardstock on the bottom here. And I should be able to see that chalk mark pretty well. I'm going to do that one there. And then I'm going to have all that DSP to be able to put there. I do need another one. So I'm going to go ahead. Since this is lined, it makes it kind of nice. I can just set my card right here on this line. Normally I'd have to turn it around and do it on this side. But I'm going to just line it up on the DSP line. It's pretty straight. I think it's straight. It looks like it's straight. Okay. All right. I'm going to have to mark what line I'm on, though, or I'll forget. It doesn't matter. I'm going to have to shorten it all up to stay on the, you know, I mean, to make it short enough anyway. Okay, let's see if that, oh, my pen ran out. So I need to get a pencil or something. You know, I think I probably got, I don't want anything that's going to bleed through. And I do have a white pencil. Maybe that will work. So let's try that. We'll stick this here. Again, we'll try it again. Hopefully my pencil will work this time. Yes, I broke it, but I think it's still working. There we go. Okay. And then let me make sure I know which line I'm on here. There, so it's this, no, yes, it's this one, right? Is that correct? Yes, it's this one, is the line I'm gonna cut across. Okay, so now I've got my angles all done. Let me cut this DSP before I forget what I'm even doing. I'm gonna put this line in here that I have the bottom piece to, like that. And now I have that bottom. And now I want to put this in this track where this line is. And if you look through where your cutter is, you should be able to see this line that you created. Okay. It's pretty dark. I'm having a hard time seeing that. Okay. Looks like I got it pretty accurately. Let's try this one. Put it in the track. Put your line right where the cutting track is. I might have to stick my head in here to see. Huh. I have a garden page if you're interested. Oh man, there are deer here, but I haven't seen a lot of deer this summer. And I'm just giving you a heads up. I actually saw a really beautiful deer. And oh dear, you know what I did? I did my angles beautifully. But the problem is that one has to go this way and one has to go this way. So what am I going to do about that? Looks like I am going to have to be careful about what I'm doing here, because I'm going to have to take my, I need my angle to be going this way, and I'm going to have very little room here for this top one. Now that was quite foolish. Thankfully, I have a couple of pieces to work with here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut right now this bit right here. Let me cut it right there, because I'm going to need to use this for my other angle. I'm going to turn it right like this. Use my pencil again. Actually, I don't want to mark that side, and since I want to make sure I'm getting the angle correct this time, so I'm a little skeptical about turning anything. I'm going to just set this in my cutting track right here. So I know I'm cutting it right exactly where I want it. And then I'll just remove that. And I think I'm going to be able to make that work now. Let's see. Yes, yes, that looks pretty perfect. I need just a little bit more. I need the last one, which I will get off of this piece. Oh my goodness, this is not the best way to do this. Okay. All right, so we have this piece I need here, like this. It's a good thing I don't need a ton of DSP on this, or we would have been in trouble. Okay, that and that. This is the one thing about fancy folds. If there's a right and a left, it's sort of like making clothes with the right sleeve and the left sleeve and all that, and right pant leg and left pant. If you don't do it right, you end up with two right pant legs. And it's not going to help. Okay, so anyhow, after all of that finagling, I believe I have something now that I can work with. So let's go ahead and assemble the card. I think we're ready to. All right. So anyway, I was down there on my bike path. It's so beautiful down there. I ride the bike down to, it's called Nathaniel Green Botanical Garden here in Springfield, Missouri. It's so beautiful every day almost, if I can. I see people there now that I recognize because we're always there at about the same time. All right, now you want to make sure this is gonna butt up against it, and you wanna make sure that it's all even. And then once you're sure of that, if you were going to put a ribbon instead of a belly band, then before you do this gluing step, make a little slit here and a little slit there. And then you can slip your ribbon in between these two pieces and it comes out and ties quite nicely. But I'm going to just do the belly band because it's going to be a little bit easier for today's more simple project. Looks like I've got a little extra here. I don't know if I can pull it apart enough because it's kind of set really good. Instead of doing that, I'm going to take my scissors and just clip that edge because I didn't give myself quite enough room there. There. Okay, so now we're all sealed up nicely. So now all you're going to do is you're going to take these angled pieces of DSP that you've cut. Hopefully you have everything you need. This is going to have to go on the top part. So I need to make sure I'm cutting correctly here so I'm not, doing the same thing and messing up my angles. All right. So I've got two of these and I've got two of those, and I've got to make sure that my short ones get filled first. So these, are 2 inch because we did 2, 4, and 6. So we're going to do it at 1 3/4. Okay, so slide your DSP in here and we're going to turn it over. Let's go this way. Oops, let me close up my glue. Okay, so 1 3/4. And another 1 3/4. I think that's looking a little narrow. Before I get too carried away, let's see. No, that'll be fine. I just wanted to double check. So 1 3/4. This one's not going to be big enough. So this one is my scrap piece. Okay. Make sure I'm getting all of the right ones done here. Okay, that one's going here. And this one's going here. Okay. Yes, this one, yes, has to go there. I just am making sure I'm not, because I am a little limited now in what I've done. Okay, so I've got my tall one. I need the tall one out of, not this one. Not this one. Oh, what have I done? I'm going to have to make it out of this one. No, it is this one. Okay. Whew, scared me. All right, so we get 1 3/4 here. Okay. So we've got that one. And we've got that one. Okay, I'm going to trim the bottoms. I'm just making sure I'm getting what I need out of this. And then this one, we also want 1 3/4. I don't have any extra. This is the very last of my DSP, and it is nice to use it up. Okay, so now we're down to just these front panels. So now I know I have plenty. So 1 3/4. Let's turn you here like this. 1 3/4. And then we have that one. And then the last one will be from this one. 1 3/4. Okay, very good. That one doesn't look as fat as the other ones. I think I'll do it again. 1 3/4. I'm not sure if I didn't slide it over enough or what. That's better. Okay. So now I have all of my angled pieces. Let me get the extra one. I don't think I did quite wide enough, and get that on the side. I do have my extra angles if I do in some way mess things up when I'm assembling, but it's very simple really. So all we need to do now is cut them the length we want. This is 5 1/2, so we actually want each of these pieces, well, this piece anyway, from this point down, we want that, you know, to be, well, 5 3/8. Okay. But actually, what am I going to, I should have cut all the bottoms exactly the way I wanted them. And it would have been great if I'd had everything going perfectly, but I didn't. Kind of got everything going which way. That one's this one. Okay. So what I'm gonna have to do is just measure each one to make sure that I'm doing it right. So this one, I know I'm going to want 5 3/8, but I'm just double checking. Yes, 5 3/8. So from your point, go to 5 3/8, which is kind of hard to see because the point is over here. Let's see if that's good, because I can always trim a little more off if I need to. I'm going to take just a smidgen more off. And then I am not going to fool around. I am getting it glued on, because if I don't, I'm going to lose which piece is going where. Now, if you really want to add some extra zing to this, and you're using DSP, so you're not stamping a lot, you have time to do it, emboss these with one of our texture embossing folders, and oh man, that would look really good. The other thing you can do is, if you don't have DSP that you want in the color that you want, you can do something masked on colored paper and make something really beautiful, and then cut it out. And that would be so nice too. All right, where's that piece that I had? I had you here. Where did you go to? Well, we will do this one since I can't find you. And this one, I only need to take off, oh boy, tiny, tiny bit. Looks like I'm taking off about less than 1/4 of an inch. So we'll start here and see if that's enough. Again, better to always take off less than you think you're gonna need, because that's fine. And then go from there. Don't take off the maximum initially, unless you know your dimensions are exactly what you want them to be. When I'm making cards, I don't even write down dimensions. I just kind of make them and then go back and make the dimensions the way they should be, because sometimes they're off by, sometimes you'll find tutorials of mine that have, very rarely, but once in a while, 7/16 or something silly like that. And the problem is it's hard to do those. So now for this one, I want that contrasting color there, but I want this piece to be covered with that DSP here. Is this the piece? Let me make sure I'm getting the right one. Yes, it is. Okay. I think, or is it this one? Actually, this looks like the one I want. It's even really ready to go in as is. So let's just do this one. Actually, I probably had one already ready there too. It has rained a ton today, so I wasn't able to go on my bike down there. And so yesterday, because the weather's been kind of iffy, it's been nice. This week, it was super hot before. I felt like it was just a blessing from God to get me to see that deer. I've got the picture of the deer in the stream going in there and drinking. It was wonderful. Oh, this is the one that went over there. Okay. It's all right. We're good. Oh good. These are maybe these are the correct size, and then I won't have to cut the bottoms. That would be nice, wouldn't it? How did that work out? Thought I had them. I don't know. I don't even know how I managed to get that bottom cut. Maybe I already did it and don't even realize I did. Do you do things like that? Do you come across something and think, oh, that's good. I'm glad that's done. I don't remember doing that. But, it's nice. Maybe Jeff did it, is what I'll think. I bet he did it. No, I didn't do it. You probably did that when you weren't even thinking about it. Okay, so we've got two pieces similar. Let's see if one's sized correctly. That one is. And that's the side I want it on. They're also, because I haven't seen a ton of turtles this year either. I usually see a ton of turtles on the path. And, I don't see them all the time, but I see enough of them that they're entertaining and fun, and I like to share those pictures of them. This one, though, even though I haven't seen a lot of them, this one had a lot of personality that I saw on the path, which was nice, because there was a mom with her little baby in a stroller coming along, and I said, oh, good, you get to see all move so your baby can see the turtle, because she couldn't tell which will really enjoy that. Okay, so now for this one, I need to take off about, I'm going to say just a hair over that 16th mark over 1 1/4. So 1 1/4. I'll start at the 1 1/4. And then we'll see if I need to do more. No, actually, that 1 1/4 is plenty. So this turtle had like all kinds of red. He was green, like a turtle is, and dark olive green. He had red spots on his legs and a lot of red markings on his head. He was so cool. Slowly walking along. He didn't put his head and legs in like they usually do as soon as I stop and put my camera down to take a picture of him. I was so surprised. Okay, so there you go. This is that part of it. Now, you can put your DSP in here in the middle, but let me just stick a piece here in so you can kind of see why I don't do that. I don't really want you know, to see the DSP up above. So I'm going to put my space, my, you know, some paper or something to write on, probably down here. Now you can do these inside ones if you want to. That can be kind of pretty. We've got that one. Let's see if I have another angle that I can do here. So we want another 1 3/4 piece right there. And then I'll have to cut off my, the bottom of that one. We'll cut that. We're gonna cut that one 3/4 of that one off. There we go. And that's going to look nice, and it'll be hidden when you close it up, so it's still, you can see the contrast color. Stick with 2 colors if you're doing this particular gatefold. If you get more colors going, it's going to start to get too busy, especially if you're putting that belly band and all on that I'm doing. Now, if you're not doing a belly band and you've got ribbon, maybe 3 colors would work. I don't know. There are always rules, it seems like, for everything, and the people who are the most creative always break the rules and do it beautifully. And I always think, my goodness, they're so talented. How in the world did they ever think that up? Well, it's because they're just super talented. That's the reason. They're good. Okay, so now we've still got, if you want more, you can do more and have it like that. This one's all covered there. And I don't want any here, because I want to see that contrast. I could do it there, and I actually do have enough paper to do it. So let's just do it, okay? So I've got that. Let's see. Do I have another angled piece that I can use here? I do. So let's just do that. So I'm going to cut this at 1 3/4 again. I'm going to turn it over. 1 3/4. And then I can glue that one there. It does need to be trimmed off just a smidgen on the bottom so that I can see my nice pink border. The paper I'm using today, this is all retired stuff, because this is polished pink. And that's not even, I don't know if polished pink is even the color that goes in with this Pansy Petals DSP. It's close enough. And to me, when I'm looking at the pink pansies, I do think our newer pink, that Bubble Bath, would look really good with it, don't you? I think it would look just fine. Uh-oh, where did I put my other piece? I had it all ready to go. There it is. Right there. Oh, you need to be trimmed a tiny bit too. Let's just trim it a tiny bit. All right, it's starting to get really gray and stormy. Whew, we had a humdinger of a storm. In fact, they said this afternoon that we might have hail the size of ping pong balls, and we might have a tornado, and we might have, well, we are definitely going to probably have more rain and high wind. It's kind of calmed down a lot. We had a lot of, we did not get anything but lots and lots and lots of rain and wind. Not even as much wind as we had a few days ago. But thankfully no ping pong ball ice cubes and no tornado. And we usually don't get that here in Springfield, but you never know, do you? Okay. So now we have done with that, and now we're going to do the belly band. Belly bands are really fun because they're so easy to do. I think, and they work really well to keep your super fat cards nice and closed tight while you're getting ready for stuff. Okay, so I'm going to take these 2 extra sheets, and we're going to cut both of them. Let's cut them about 1 1/2. I think that's about what I want, 1 1/2. It can be, oops, it can be any width, really. Is that equal? It is, that is equal. So I'm gonna take, I think I need both of them. Maybe I only need one. Let's fold it over and see. Oh, I only need one. Sweet. I thought I needed both. I'm not sure why. Okay, so we're folding that over. Now you do want it to be loose enough to go around and slide open and, you know, over. You don't want it to be too snug. And then I want this edge to be on the outside, I think. I'm gonna trim that just a tiny bit so it's a little bit shorter there and kind of more in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this, but again, I'm gonna make sure it's gluing together with some space so that it can easily slide on and off. I don't want it to get too snug. When I first started doing belly bands, it's very, very tempting to make them pretty snug. So actually, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to be doubly sure, because you do also want to make sure that it's not, it has to be snug enough to stay on. I've also erred on the side of not getting it snug enough, and then it just falls off when you lift up the card. All right, so that should be fine right there. Now we're ready for our doily. I think I'm going to do, let me find those pansy petals that I've already cut out, and let's see how we want to arrange these. Okay, so now these are things that you can decorate the insides with beautifully, right? There's just so many of them. They're gorgeous. The dies cut out these big ones and these little ones. So I hope you got this set, because that one's not cut correctly. This one is, though. Isn't he cute? All right, so I'm going to put my doily on. I'm going to put one of the tailored tags on, and then we're going to stick this on. And I'm just making sure these colors are going to work. This is Blackberry Bliss, and I can do that. Actually, I do want a contrast color. I don't really want this. And white just won't work, because this is sort of a soft sea foam background in this DSP. So I think we want Blackberry Bliss for my doily. So that's kind of why I was playing with those flowers. If you were wondering what is she doing, it's because I wasn't 100% sure what color I wanted that doily. I don't think I have one cut out in Blackberry Bliss, but let's just have a little look. You never know. No, I don't. And I see soft succulent. To prevent the time wasting here, I'm not liking that as well, though. I think Blackberry Bliss is going to look a lot better, and I do want you to see this doily. They are gorgeous, and they're so easy to make, and you cannot have enough doily things. I resisted this doily because I thought, I already have dies for doilies that I like. And I think I have one set of dies for doilies that I like. And I know I have 2 stamp sets at least. One goes with the dies and one is just a stamp set that's, I don't remember what it's called. Deer doily? I don't really remember now. But this doily set, let me put my pencils away here. This doily set is better than the other ones. If you also are resisting it because you have doilies, I just want you to know you cannot miss this. This is just too good to miss. This doily set has, let me find it. Where are you? Delightful doily. The delightful doilies have dies and an embossing folder, and so that's why you have to have it. I'm going to cut a piece of my Blackberry Bliss, and we'll do our doily out of this. And you can cut and emboss at the same time. I am not going to do that. because I want to use this doily and embossing thing a long, long time. The embossing folder will just slightly get cut every time you cut it with your die. It's not going to damage the folder, supposedly, but I am skeptical about that long term. I'm thinking it will eventually damage it. So to prevent that, I am oops, I don't want that. I need my cutting ones first. Okay, so we're going to cut the doily and then emboss it. But you can do it in one step and place the die inside. All you do is you just put it inside here, line it up, put your paper on. It will emboss it and cut it in one go. And for speed, you know, I could do it, but I haven't done it yet because I do really love this. So I'm not going to do it. I don't want to ruin it. It's too cute. Okay, so I'm going to run it through a few times. It has so many holes that I just want to be doubly sure that it all gets cut out really good. Let me move that out of the way for a minute. And then I'm getting this, I'm trying to keep all of my little scraps right in here. I used to have little bits of something all over my floor every time I did any die cutting, and I was getting awfully tired of having this messy room to work in. So now I try to keep my mess like really contained here. So that's what I'm doing. It's just because I'm a neat freak. And I don't like to vacuum every day, so I'm trying not to have to. All right, so that should come out pretty good. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Oh man, you're going to love that. It is so beautiful. And then you're going to emboss it. So let me get the scraps out of the way. We'll put this away. Put this back in. Now we get our embossing pieces in. And just put this in your embossing folder. Let's make sure the front is facing up when I put it in. And then to find the right direction. And you can actually kind of see every hole, see exactly where it should go. It's not too complicated, really. Okay, and then we're gonna emboss. Let me see if I've got it actually right. There's a couple here that to me look like I've got it off a little bit. There we go. One side works a little better than the other. There we go. Now I can see it's all on there perfectly. And I can emboss. If you cut and emboss, you do not have to worry about it. It'll be perfect. But like I said, I plan on using mine a bunch, so I don't want it to get ruined. And so this way you get this beautiful embossed and cut doily. I know you can buy doilies in the store, but ladies, they aren't going to be embossed like this. Plus, I guarantee you, they aren't going to be the exact color you need. And here I am. You can just make your own really cute doily. So we're going to stick this doily right here on this. So I want to make sure that I'm not getting glue on my gatefold, but I also do kind of want to see where to put this doily. We'll put our doily there, we'll put the doily there. We're going to just glue this right on down. But just here, I'm just going to put a bunch of glue there because I'm also going to put a tag right over this. So it doesn't matter that I've got gunk all over the place, because I don't want it on my fingers. So I'm just going to kind of stick. That's so thick, it's going to stay wet for a minute. I'm going to set that aside, and then I'm going to really quickly cut out my tailor-made tag. Okay, we're going to do the big one from some white cardstock. Okay, And then I'll stamp it, and then we will get that on, hopefully, before it dries. I'm not 100% sure it won't be dried. We'll see. If it is, oh well, I'll just glue it again. Because it is gonna, I've got my overhead fan on just to make sure I don't get too heated up here. All right, let's stick it like this. And like this. This is our tailor-made tag. The tailor-made tags are so cute. They are stitched. They come in a variety of sizes. And there's this wonderful little circle piece you can cut out to reinforce it. So if it's a pull piece, like ours is kind of going to be tugged on, you can put the little circle reinforcements on. And in fact, let me cut those out right now because we're going to want to use our petal pink. Here, let me grab my little skinny strip. And take this. Let's put away that die. I'll have to get that out later. You can put the oval ones with these. Has an oval opening, and the one that I used has the little circles. And it cuts 4 out, so you could do 2 tags with this one little pink piece, and then you get all of these nice little pieces. Okay, now these little pieces are all going to end up on the floor. I know they are, and I have to vacuum them up, and I just vacuumed today. I don't really want to have to do that, but oh well, there you go. That's going to end up on the floor. All right, I'm going to do the little circles really quick here. Just glue those on. You do want to make sure your holes are uncovered. I'm getting an awful lot of glue on myself. That's never good because my hands are going to stick to everything. Let me take care of that problem right now because I'm not going to... At the end of a card, you start to get to the finesse part. And you don't want a ton of glue everywhere. All right. Put just a little bit. This is a new bottle, so it's kind of squeezing out more than I want. All right, there we go. You are so cute. Look at you. I don't know why something like that is so exciting to me, but it is. All right, so now we're going to use our pansy patch, and I'm going to do, let's say, I still have a piece of Blackberry Bliss. There we go. That was really driving me crazy. I think I'm going to make this one a happy birthday. I'm always in the need, you know, for a birthday card. So since we have happy birthday there, we're just going to do happy birthday. And I'm going to do this one in Blackberry Bliss. My Blackberry Bliss looks slightly funky. Okay, I'm going to angle my card or my tag. I'm going to angle it this way on the card. So I want my sentiment to sort of be off just a tiny bit. Oh, that looks really wet. Let's do a blotter on it there because that looked like it was super, super damp. And then this is going to go right on where that glue was. And I think I am going to need to put another bit of glue just to make sure that stays really, really good. So let's hold off on that just for a minute. I'm going to clean I don't know where my Simply Chamois is. I don't see it. And the red ones like Blackberry Bliss and Rich Razzleberry, all those, they stain these a lot, these photopolymers. Don't worry about it as long as you're getting all of that ink off. Even though it looks stained, it's not going to mess anything up when you stamp more with it. All right, now we're almost done. I do need some ribbon. What kind of ribbon? I want something really special and pretty. And I'd like to have some twine to go with it too. Now I do have, I've got a lot of Rich Razzleberry. Let me look here and see if I've got got petal pink. I'm not sure that I have a lot of great petal pink. Got that. I'm not seeing all of the colors that I want. I think I might have some twine. I like to wrap it like this and then put twine on it. When it's a little hole like this and you're having to force that ribbon through, you're gonna only want to stick one end through. You don't want to be doubling it up like you normally would and sticking both ends or both sides through at the same time. So because I'm doing it that way, I'm gonna just do it this way and tie it with some twine, and it needs to be Blackberry Bliss twine. And I do have some. Let's see if I can find it very quickly. And yes, I've got it, or something close to it. This is actually not Blackberry Bliss, but I believe it's probably Fresh Fig, which we had a long time ago, and I'm going to get a fair amount so that it's easy for me to deal with. Now, this is a very thick one. Most of the time when I do twines, I take them apart because you don't really want to have a big, thick twine. Some of them are fatter than others. This one's pretty fat. You can see I've got even more left than I'm taking. So I'm going to take those two, and we're going to do a nice little knot. I could probably even do a little bow. Let's see. Let's tie it like this. Get in there. This is the part that takes time, is all these little deals. Wow, there you are. Okay. And now we're going to tie you and adjust. Okay, because I want it like this, and I want that down there, and like that. We're going to have to tie this into a knot just to make it nice and snug, right where I want that. Okay, so let's tie that in a knot. And then you can decide if you want a bow or if you just want it to be knotted. Okay, very good. Oh, you are so cute. And then you can tug it and get the ends exactly the way you want them. I don't know if I need a bow. Let's see. We'll try a bow, and then if I don't like it, we'll take it out. I kind of like the bow, so we'll leave the bow. Trim that side. Okay, I definitely need more glue. I can see this is still quite loose, but I don't want a dimensional. You could stick dimensionals on there, but you don't really want them because this is a pretty fat card anyway. So I'm going to just stick more glue right here, all on that. And then I want my sentiment to be straight when I lay this on here. So it's going to be like that. Okay, now I'm going to slide it off just to make sure my glue isn't going places it shouldn't be, and it's not. It's staying perfectly good there. Now, we're almost done. All you need to do is take your little flower, or if you're doing a fun animal kind of stamp DSP, put that on here. Anything will work, but I'm going to put on these cute little pansy petals. Okay, decide how I want them, and then that's going to be my card. Okay, I could glue, I could do dimensionals, and it's actually easier to work with if you're putting dimensionals on the back of all these things. But because I've got so many layers going on, I'm going to go ahead and just glue these down instead. And that one's going to go there like that. And then that one's going to go. I want to see those cute little pansy faces. They are so cute. I miss this set. This is one that I really like. I love flowers, don't you? And pansies, they don't all have a good scent anymore. Some of them are unscented. A lot of them are, the newer ones. But the old ones, the old-fashioned Are there violas? They're violas, like violets. They smell so good. Okay, I think we are done. Look at you. You're so cute. Happy birthday. And there's room to write. You've got lots of room inside to write, and you have this beautiful little card. All these still going. You can see I did not use all that much DSP, and we're all good. All right, thank you so much for joining me. Again, I'm Kathy Crow, kathycrowscards.com, working here for Stampin' Up, trying to sell some Stampin' Up stuff. But actually, all of this stuff, I believe, is retired. I just wanted to show you this fun fold, and if I try to turn the camera up, it'll probably I can give it a go, but I suspect we're gonna have like major issues here if I try to mess with it too much. We'll see if it works. I'll turn it, and there I am. Actually, that worked pretty smoothly. So for a first time go with YouTube, actually this went really smoothly. So I might go ahead and give it a try, but it's hard when I can't see, and I don't have comments enabled. I don't think so. Anyhow, I will see you later. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of the week. It's almost the weekend now. Bye.